You know it's about that time. It's Saturday, 12/26/2020. There's a lot of twos in that, and it's just us two. Me and Big Sin. What's
with the suffering succotash list you got going on right now?
Suffering succotash, too many twos. You know how it is. Welcome to the party, y'all. We're going to let this ride out until the break. Give it a second. And another one. There we go. I love that one. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to that damn NFL show. I'm your boy, Hollywood J. Blaq, live in the building once again. That's my man, Big Sin. How you doing today, sir?
I am doing good. Hopefully, everybody checking us out right now had a very good Christmas. Hopefully, your families had good Christmases. James, I hope the kids had good Christmases.
Yes, everybody had a wonderful Christmas. People got what they wanted, and those that didn't get what they want, well, there's receipts for that. So,
also, if you didn't get what you want, you should have built a bot to buy a PS5.
I was never going to pay anything more than retail price. That's $535 in most states, okay, after taxes for a PS5. For everybody paying $800, $900, no, fuck that. You're making things horrible. Let them sit on that stockpile of PS5s and make sure that when the drought is over, they have to sell them bitches for $350. Get yourself a PS5 for the super low. Just say no to being overtaxed.
Just say no to supporting fucking assholes.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you. Jeez.
All right, so we're here bright and early here on this Saturday morning because we had football yesterday. We'll talk about that game later.
Yes.
We got football today. We got football tomorrow. We got football Monday. It's a 4-day weekend of football.
Football, and yes, damn right. Football, ladies and gentlemen. That's right. That's why we're here. This is why this is that damn NFL show. So, how did we do last week, sir?
Last week we agreed on every game for the first time in a long time, and we went 10-6. So we failed.
Hey, well, we're a playoff team in most instances. Okay,
in the NFC.
In the NFC, yeah.
There are some shocking upsets this week, and one that we're just going to start off the bat with. And I know it's out of order for what we do, but actually, let's hold on. Before we get to that, let's talk about last Thursday's game. The Chargers and the Raiders. Derek Carr pulled his groin. Marcus Mariota came out, played fantastically, but their defense is just trash, and the Chargers are too explosive.
Yeah. You know, it's funny because we had a funny feeling about the Chargers last week. You know what I'm saying? Which was like, because of how leaky the defense is and how good Justin Herbert is, I felt that it was taking advantage. The Raiders really needed to win that game, and they didn't.
Yeah, they started off the season super hot. It doesn't help that they're in a division with the Chiefs.
No.
But like last year, they started hot and they're fizzled out at the end. I don't know if this is coaching. I don't know if it's bad drafting. I don't know if it's clock management. I don't know what the fuck it is, but there is a serious problem here in Las Vegas.
So let's get to the reality of the situation here now. So the reality is that I think with the Raiders, Judge John Gruden, based off of his success back in the early 2000s, and which included the success that he had with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Okay, the thing is that Gruden has been an offensive mind. And we see that the offense is doing exactly what it would do under a Gruden offense, okay? The defense, on the other hand, he doesn't have the genius of Lovie Smith back. He doesn't have the Tony Dungy defense that he had when he got to Tampa. He doesn't have any of those parts that he had way, way, way back when. So now
Warren Sapp?
No Sapp. I mean, even if he had the players, he doesn't have the schemes. Because listen, ain't nobody gonna leave Travis Kelce wide open. If Tony Dungy's team would have left Travis Kelce wide open in the end zone, Tony Dungy would have made them run laps still. And he would have been done coaching the team, and he would be still making them run laps in 2020. Okay, 18 years later. All right, let's keep it 100. I think that we're basing John Gruden as a totality and not what he's good at. And that's a problem. Because as a totality, John Gruden, after he won that Super Bowl, became a very mediocre coach very fast, especially after all those Pro Bowl players left and got big money contracts somewhere else. Yeah. And Lovie Smith ended up getting a coaching job for the Bears. You see all those parts that made John Gruden to a Super Bowl winning coach were gone. He became very mediocre, and then he subsequently took it to the broadcast booth. We're in the same situation now. That his offense is absolutely magnificent. You know me. I'll call a spade a spade. John Gruden is a very great offensive mind, but he lacks a defense, and he lacks somebody with a defensive mind to balance that part out. And until he gets that, it's gonna be a wrap. I'm sorry. Like there's no way that John Gruden's going to even have any success in Oakland until he both gets the players and the scheme in order to be dominant. And that scheme starts with a scheme that stops Patrick Mahomes. Has to. Because if you can stop Patrick Mahomes, you can stop anybody at that point.
I mean, the Raiders thought that they were good because they beat the Chiefs early in the season. The reason you beat the Chiefs early in the season because it was an offensive shootout. Neither defense showed the fuck up.
Yeah. Pretty much.
You just were over the top on bad defenders. That's all you did against the Chiefs.
The only reason that the Raiders beat the Chiefs early in the season is because they scored more points than the Kansas City Chiefs.
Thank you, Booger McFarland, for that lovely insight.
Only reason why we're down.
All right, so we're going to knock out 2 games out of order real quick. So the Jacksonville Jaguars got humiliated by the Baltimore Ravens last week. The Jacksonville Jaguars are tanking the right way.
Yes. Tanking while preserving Gardner Minshew, who could probably be a really good trade piece later on. Okay, if they want to get into the 3rd or 4th round, you know what I'm saying? They're good to go. Be like, we can get Trevor Lawrence and fuck Gardner Minshew. We'll trade him to the Patriots or something for like an 8th round draft pick. And you
fucked up the segue, but it's okay. I'm going to say the New York Football Jets delivered Jacksonville a Christmas present last week by beating the team who we said all year plays down to their competition, the LA Rams, and now the Jacksonville Jaguars, who I guarantee you know how to tank because Doug Marrone is a tanking genius.
That's right.
Will not win another game this season. And they go get Trevor Lawrence with the number 1 pick, and Trevor Lawrence saying the New York Jets sucked a couple years ago in a press conference. He doesn't have to go into that locker room and deal with that shit.
That's right. This is brilliant. It's so brilliant that even the Jags GM and owner Shad Khan even commented saying that this was an early Christmas gift that the New York Jets provided the Jacksonville Jaguars, which means 2 things.
That shit was savage, dude.
They're actively tanking, and they want everybody to know it. Okay, and you know what? Trevor Lawrence approves. So 3 things. So
Trevor Lawrence is like, hold on, you mean I don't got to leave the South?
Yeah, exactly, right? You mean this headband's gonna be cool here? Hell yes, fuck it. Oh my God.
So congratulations to the Jacksonville Jaguars on Trevor Lawrence. He is probably going to be your franchise quarterback in about 5 years.
Yes. Oh, congratulations to Frank Gore because he's only 40-some yards away now from taking the record away from Barry Sanders, from Walter Payton, and being only behind Emmitt Smith as the greatest running back of all time. I never thought I would say Frank Gore and greatest running back of all time in the exact same sentence.
Well, the problem is I don't think he's going to get it this week.
Why not?
Because of the matchup.
Okay, we'll talk about that. You never know.
Yeah, we'll talk about that. All right, so now that the trash is out of the way, let's go ahead and talk about some more ass whoopings.
Yes.
The Buffalo Bills whooped the Denver Broncos.
They beat them, victimized them, and conquered the Buffalo Bills. It was humbling, to say the least. Very, very, yeah. I really don't know what to say about that. It was bad. It was bad.
People and Denver fans blaming the refs. Y'all lost by 20. That's not the refs' fault.
I mean, it was thorough. Can I say that? Is that a positive to say? At least it was a thorough ass whooping. I mean, it wasn't one of those things where anything was in question. There were some questionable calls. Some players got injured, so they got their ass whooped. No, it was thorough. Okay? No excuses. You just got your ass whooped because the other team scored more points than you did. Hashtag Booker McFarland. And you really couldn't do anything about it. That's just what it was.
And for the first time since 1997 or 8, the Buffalo Bills are your AFC East champions.
Yeah! I mean,
now unlike last year they made the playoffs and did not do shit. Let's see if they can do anything this year in the playoffs.
Well, if they win only a few more games, they might get a bye. They might get a bye week if they went out.
There's only one bye.
Oh no, I forgot. There is only one bye this year. Fucking weird ass.
The Chiefs only have one loss, so it's not going to happen.
You never know.
I know because of matchups. So next up, we have the Green Bay Packers destroying the Carolina Panthers.
I thought this was only going to be a closer game, only because the Packers are weak against the run. So I thought it'd just be maybe a little bit closer, maybe by like 10, 12, 14 points. No, it was bad. It was bad. Aaron Rodgers is trying to be an MVP. Is trying to have an MVP season without actually being the MVP. I mean, that's kind of where we're at this point. He's doing the bare minimum in order, and he's killing it doing the bare minimum. How many? Listen, it's so the ass whoopings have been so great for Aaron Rodgers this year that he's actually had time to kick it with Pat McAfee on Mondays and Tuesdays on the Pat McAfee podcast. Shout out to Pat McAfee, by the way. Like he's just sitting there kicking it with a mimosa, just like, yeah, man, we fucking won and shit. Fuck everybody else, it's cool. That's how I feel. Yeah, Aaron Rodgers.
We're on Aaron Rodgers don't give a fuck time right now. That's what we're on right now. Aaron Rodgers like, I probably won't be in Green Bay much longer, so fuck it.
It's just like, fuck it. Like, it is what it is. Matter of fact, I just might end up in Indianapolis. You keep fucking around and Phillip Rivers retires with a championship. Who fucking knows? I think, you know what? I honestly think if Phillip...
So you got your Segway juice back, okay? I'm just letting you know that right now. You got your Segway juice back, all right?
Yeah, thank you. Oh.
So in that segue, the Indianapolis Colts beat the living hell out of the Houston Texans.
We picked Indianapolis, right?
We thought it was going to be a closer game because it's a division matchup. But yeah, the Colts were like, man, fuck your mama.
It was like, I'm not sure what was in my cup at the time. Hold on, what the? Ooh, shit was strong, whatever it fucking was. Because yeah, Indianapolis is looking. Whoo, boy, it's like dealing with the Indianapolis Colts is like having a double shot of Crown with no chaser. Okay, like you take it in, it's like whoo, and that's whoo.
And everybody was like, "Oh, Phil Rivers ain't gonna do nothing in Indy." No, Phil Rivers has a competent defense for the first time in his career and has weapons around him.
Which is scary because, like, I could, outside of T.Y. Hilton, I couldn't even tell you, the running back. I'm sorry, the dude from Jonathan Taylor and the backup running back.
Yes.
Okay, so
Phillip Rivers' lack of give a fuck when he's throwing the football.
Yeah,
people slang that motherfucker around like chicken grease. He doesn't give a shit.
I did. You know what? To be fair, I thought that Indianapolis wasn't going to do much this year behind Phillip Rivers, but I also said that Jonathan Taylor was going to provide a much needed spark for a running game that was pretty much been non-existent for the last few years.
Yes, Edgar and James left. They've been non-existent.
And it seems like because of that running game, Phillip Rivers has been put in a lot less positions to actually have to win them the game. Like, because gunslinging Phillip is no longer there. It's actually methodical thinking, career preservation. Phillip Rivers is actually in the building right now, which I can appreciate.
The scariest thing about Phillip Rivers this season is that he can sit there and look at his career stats and be like, I don't give a shit if I throw 5 interceptions in a game. Yeah. I'm still going to slang the ball. I don't care.
Yeah. But he hasn't had to do that this year, which is good though. Like he hasn't had to bail out Indianapolis all year. Like literally,
for the first time in a long time, this team is a legit threat.
Yeah, and so now I have a tough thing to figure out. Who do we put as the coach of the year? Would Frank Reich be the coach of the year? Or if the Dolphins get into the playoffs, would your boy Flores be the coach of the year? That's something.
They'll probably give it to Andy Reid because they only have one loss.
No, man, listen. The Super Bowl champs that only got more weapons instead of lost weapons should be back in the playoffs. Like to me, like I can't give it to Andy Reid only because that this is now expected of him. You was it 3 games in a row in the playoffs, you dominated the top 5 defenses in the NFL. So you really at this point, there's sky's the limit for Kansas City. Give it to a team that deserves it. Give it to Frank Reich, especially after what he's been through the last 2 years, getting Jacoby Brissett getting killed, Andrew Luck retiring, and now having Phillip Rivers just fall into his lap and making the most of it. But Flores, Dolphins get to the playoffs.
Yeah, we'll get to the Dolphins here real soon.
Yeah.
Next up, Derrick Henry angry stiff arm somebody again, and this time it sounded like a Ric Flair chop when he hit this man and tried to kill the man. And the Tennessee Titans bitch slapped literally the Detroit Lions.
We knew it was coming. We said it was going to be bad. You should have listened.
Derrick Henry, this fucking monster, dude. He's just
man. Listen, if Derrick Henry was a Pokemon, he'd be a Machamp, okay? Because that's how.
So I'm sitting here like, because my boy showed me the play because we were watching a different game.
Yeah.
And this wasn't like the Josh Norman stiff arm where he just tossed Josh Norman.
Yeah.
Like the homeboy said something about his mama because he came from back here. He's like, yeah.
He gave him that grown man.
And somebody made a gif of that hit and then homeboy disappearing like the Thanos snap.
Oh my lord! Listen. Derrick Henry to me. See, everybody. Of course, everybody's got Patrick Mahomes to be pegged the MVP. I don't necessarily. I honestly think that Derrick Henry is the MVP of the year because 3 games this year he's provided massive highlight reel material. He's obliterated his competition.
He had a 96-yard run in overtime against the Ravens.
Exactly. When you feed this man, he's the most dominant person. And even when you don't feed this man, remember when there was a game where he only had 12 carries for like 90-some yards this season? Remember that? And Tennessee lost because they didn't feed him more?
Yeah, Tannehill put up Pro Bowl numbers in that game.
Yeah, like, listen.
Like, give it to the goddamn Armadillo and let him do what he's doing, all right?
Yeah, like the whole reason why you have a Derrick Henry and you pay Derrick Henry is so Tannehill doesn't have to throw it 50 sometimes a game. If Derrick Henry gets 100+ and Tannehill has like almost 50 throws, 1, you have too much time on your hands, and 2, you're not feeding the beast enough. Okay, I'm just saying. I'm just really saying.
Just let Derrick Henry. He could take you to a Super Bowl if you just let him eat.
Yeah, Derrick Henry for MVP. That's really. I wish I could make a shirt that says that. Matter of fact, I'm gonna tweet Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry, can you get me a Derrick Henry for MVP shirt? I'm kind of broke, so can you get me one? And I'll proudly rock it on my show. Thank you and please. Okay.
Oh, man. All right. Next up, we have Mitchell Trubisky making the Vikings defense look like trash.
Yo, listen. Hold on. We got a comment here. Let me, what does it say? Big John says, Derrick Henry throwing defenders around like I would if I jumped into a Pop Warner game. Matter of fact, it'd be like that one dude that says he's like 12, and dude looks like a grown-ass man. You seen that Pop Warner shit?
Well, me and John were talking about this shit. They're making these motherfuckers at factories now.
Look at that.
It's the DK Metcalf factory. That's what this is now.
What they did is they took the DNA of that nigga from Baylor. You know that big swole motherfucker that got popped for hitting this girl and the girl lied about it? That nigga was like 6'8", but like 245 all muscle. They just cloned him. Or he's patient zero. That's who they've been making this whole time, making these athletes like Derrick Henry, DK Metcalf, Deebo Samuel. Exactly. Just clone these motherfuckers. So on to Chicago. So have you noticed that ever since they stripped Matt Nagy of the play calling, Mitchell Trubisky has put up great numbers. The running back Montgomery has put up great numbers. And you know what happens when you run the ball and you play good defense and your quarterback isn't being an ass and being asked to do things he's not supposed to do? You actually start winning fucking games. What a fucking concept, Phil.
And I think it is a step in the right direction. You actually got his name right this week. For the first time in 5 weeks, you actually said Matt Nagy.
I mean, he deserves it because he's not being a selfish prick and calling all the plays now, okay? That's kind of... do you want me to apologize? No, fuck you, Matt Nagy. Fuck you, okay? Because... You're about to ruin 2 quarterbacks in your own career. All right, let's keep it real. He was going to destroy Mitch Trubisky, send him off into the ether somewhere where he's sitting there shoveling snow with Ryan Leaf, and God knows what the fuck they were going to do with Nick Foles. He was probably going to end up back in Kansas City as a backup to fucking Patrick Mahomes with Andy Reid. I don't fucking know what the fuck he was going to do, but I tell you what the actual fuck it was. I'm glad that they took away his play calling. He didn't deserve it. Sometimes genius gets away in the way of itself. You're familiar with that, Sin, as you know that Bill Belichick has let his genius get in the way of some of his shit too many times. Just saying. It's. But at least Bill Belichick knows when to hold him, when to fold him. Matt Nagy has been holding him and folding him for the last 2 years, like an idiot.
And let's all not forget the reason why Hollywood does not say his name right is due to the fact that this is the man who traded up above the Kansas City Chiefs and did not draft Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah. You didn't draft Mahomes. You didn't draft Watson. Hell, you didn't draft Derrick Henry. Wasn't Derrick Henry in that draft? You didn't draft him?
Yeah.
Like you could have had a Derrick fucking Henry. Goddamn. Well, you could have had a DK Metcalf. You could have had people. Okay. But no, I don't want to. I want Mitchell Trubisky.
I think John Elway called Matt Nagy. You know you want a tall white quarterback. Go ahead and take him.
Probably try to convince him to draft Daniel Jones, huh?
The Giants had a high pick that year. So. Yeah, people don't talk about that Daniel Jones went over Trubisky and Patrick Mahomes.
Well, the funny part about it is you have Daniel Jones and Haskins, and you have like it's just all bad. I'm sorry.
You just segued again. The Seattle Seahawks were up 20, almost lost to Dwayne Haskins. For that fact, Dwayne Haskins went to a strip club without a mask and got filmed at the strip club after the game.
You know why? Because they said, hey, if you throw this game, bro, I got passes, bro. I got passes.
So, Dwayne Haskins, you already know your coach don't like you, the GM don't like you, your teammates don't like you, and your dumbass is going to go to a strip club with no mask after losing a game. You know, Alex Smith probably walked in the locker room and just socked this motherfucker in the jaw and kicked him with his fucking dead leg. And what the fuck is you doing, bro?
This week, Alex Smith has got to probably limp back out there. I don't know what their plans are for tomorrow, but I mean, Alex Smith is injured. But Dwayne Haskins probably breathed in all that stripper COVID. You know what I'm saying? And
the NFL fined him $40K for being out in public without a mask on.
You know what trips me out for a rookie that got drafted so low in the first round? Like, he only makes like $200K. Like, why would you risk? I'm like, why would you risk that much money, 20% of your salary for some ass? Dude, that's what Pornhub is for. Hell, that's what Omegle is for. Go on Omegle, find you some naked big booty bitches. You know, like, y'all could just look at each other. Y'all both strangers anyway. Just, you know, I'm just saying. This Dwayne.
So with this game, Seattle clinched the playoff spot. Seattle does not look like a team that's going to make it through the playoffs.
Oh, Seattle this year looks as bad at the end of the year or in the middle of the year. Well, Seattle this year looks as bad now as they did in the middle of last year before they turned the corner and beat San Francisco the one time and then almost came close to beating them again the second time. They have problems. Like, the Legion of Boom is absolutely no more, as we can obviously tell.
Yeah, that garbage.
I haven't seen them this bad in a long time defensively. This is a new low. And in the playoffs, you got to go against, in your position, you got to go against New Orleans with Kamara, or you got to go against Green Bay. We already know how that is. In the West, Arizona might sneak in, and you don't want Seattle and Arizona to be back-to-back third and fourth seeds. That's the last thing.
You got the Rams who could beat the Seahawks.
Yeah. Man, listen, this is a problem. And Washington came this close. I bet if Alex Smith was playing,
it was 20-15.
Yeah, Alex Smith would have won that game if you ask me. Seattle to me looks like a one and done team, and I hate to say it for y'all, you Seahawks fans, but your team is a one and done team right now, bro.
Like, there's no real Seahawks fans. They don't even know who Matt Hasselbeck is. So
you have this is how I debate Seahawks fans. You ready? Give me a Dave Craig stat line from 1991. If you can give me a Dave Craig stat line from 1991, then you're a Seahawks fan without looking on Google. Okay.
You know how I debate Seahawks fans?
What?
Who was your last MVP?
Oh, see, I already know the answer. See, I know the answer because
he used to be a running back for your team.
Yeah. But anyways,
so next up we have a game that was a rough one. Congratulations to the Dolphins. You beat the Patriots. Tua now gave Bill Belichick his 6th loss against the rookie. J.C. Jackson now has 8 interceptions on the season. Is not in the Pro Bowl.
Yeah. Listen.
J.C. Jackson's getting screwed.
I mean, I wish I really had more to say about that one. What are your thoughts? Tell me your thoughts. I want to know Big Sin's thoughts about that.
About J.C. Jackson?
Yeah.
The dude is putting up one of the best defensive performances of a undrafted player's career since fucking Ray Lewis. The dude
he's drafted this year, right?
Yeah.
And he's outpacing Chase Young.
He was last year. He was undrafted. This is his second year in the
NFL. Okay.
Homeboy has 8 interceptions. He had a streak of 5 in a row, 5 games in a row with an interception,
which that's unprecedented.
But right? He's not getting no love. It's cool though. What I can say now is I don't have to worry about Patriots games no more this year. No more stress. They're out of the playoffs. Cam Newton posted a cryptic Instagram saying that he's unhappy with his performance this year and this is not acceptable. And that if given the chance, he wants to stay and try and fix it next year.
Yeah.
Cam did get hit a couple of incentives. He will make $3,700,000 this year on his contract. So he did hit some incentives. But if they were going to the playoffs, Julian Edelman would have been activated this week to play. But since they're not, Belichick's going to let Jules finish rehabbing and resting. Stephon Gilmore tore his quad on a non-contact play last week. This has been a rough season for the Patriots, but you know what? I'm good with it. Like I told you at the beginning of the season, 20 straight years of dominance is what the New England Patriots put out there.
So I'll rebuttal you on that one and say this year I felt that at full strength with Cam Newton. Remember, they were a 10-6 team to me. Like we talked about this. I said they were 10-6. I think they could have made the playoffs, possibly won the division depending on how Buffalo did. I did not see Miami come out of left field, which
nobody did. Miami was actually rated to be the worst team in this division this year.
Well, yeah, because you see all the good players they dumped off last year prior to the season, and they actually with Fitzpatrick they found their swagger towards the end of the season, and they looked to me like an 8-8 team, a 7-9 team. And I thought that Tua was going to take his bumps. I didn't think Tua was going to be better than Fitzpatrick, which is a big, bold statement because Fitzpatrick was magic this year before he got benched. The key to New England is going to be when all these contracts drop off.
Next year they have $80 million in contract space.
Yeah, and now you have two corners on each side of the field that can cover. You know what I'm saying? Cover both sides. So it cover your receiver and your best receiver. If they can find a slot corner or a linebacker that can drop off in coverage or even both, and then actually start building an offense, which the other thing about this is the Josh McDaniels situation is I know that he was offered to stay, offered the coaching gig in 2 or 3 years, depending on, if he stayed or not. Well, we know those offers are going to come in soon because the Texans got fired. Texans. Bill O'Brien got fired.
Marvin Lewis is actually the lead candidate for the Texans right now.
Well, we know there's going to be a bunch of other coaches fired. Hell, Atlanta is. Could you imagine what you call them can do in Atlanta with a vertical offense with Matt Ryan, Ridley, and there's going to be a lot of attention for Josh McDaniels, even with what happened in Indianapolis 3 years ago. You got to really think to yourself at some point, what's going to be the direction of New England? And I know that we might not find out for at least 6 to 8 weeks, well after the playoffs and Super Bowl is done. But it's really a big thing to keep an eye on because how New England goes is how Cam Newton goes. I would really like to see them bring Cam Newton back and I say a big if they could get the talent on the offensive side of the ball up to par. Now we know the one guy, what's his name, the receiver, is having a breakout season this year.
So N'Keal Harry's been a bust.
Yeah, he's a bust.
You're talking about Jacoby Myers.
Yep.
And Demarius Byrd are playing their asses off.
Yeah.
Dante's Moncrief has stepped up big for us.
Yeah.
But you got to think next year, Marquise Lee comes off him taking the year off. We did not get to see Marquise Lee in a Patriots uniform this year.
Yeah.
And if they keep him around, Julian Edelman will be healthy probably for the first time in his career next season.
Well,
on top of that, too, when you're talking about the defense, Dante Hightower and Patrick Chung will be coming back because they sat out for COVID this year.
Yeah. So defense is going to be at 100%. The defense is not what worries me because even if the defense at a 50% capacity, we're still dominating up until they got tired or they got worn out in certain situations.
They were in every game this year except for the Rams game.
Yeah, and I've never had to worry about a Bill Belichick defense, right? I think that's one thing that I think maybe like once, which was during the shootout years of Randy Moss and Tom Brady, where there were a few games that where the one time I was worried was the last game when they played the Giants and they beat them 49-48, which I was like, that's not very characteristic.
And then lost to the Giants 3 games later in the Super Bowl.
Yeah. That's not. Yeah. So we know Bill Belichick defense is not one that we have to worry about. Where this offense goes is going to be really key. Again, I would love to see Cam Newton run it back. I don't know if it's in the cards, only because of the Jimmy Garoppolo situation. That's the rumors are piling up. I don't know if you've heard, but we'll get to it. I mean,
we're actually on to that game here in a second. But we also have a Matt Stafford situation popping up and a Matt Ryan situation popping up.
Yep.
Because both quarterbacks are free agents after this season.
Well, yep. And then Justin Fields coming out of Ohio State, and they would be a low enough seed to possibly pursue him in the draft. I mean, that's kind of...
In my opinion, if that was what they plan to do, bring Cam back one more season.
Yeah.
With a healthy team. Because now they got the running back situation. Damian Harris, Sony Michel, James White.
Yeah.
We'll get Bolden back next year.
Yeah.
Rex Burkhead will be back. Remember, he's out for the season.
Yeah.
The Patriots have a good team. It was just bad breaks and just not. Cam missed 1 game because of COVID. Was not right 3 games after that.
Yep.
Gilmore missed a couple games due to COVID. Then the knee injury. Now he tore his quad.
Yeah.
Devin McCourty's doing all he can in the backfield.
Yeah.
Jason McCourty's doing what Jason McCourty does. This team is solid. I think if any of those 3 quarterbacks, Cam, Stafford, Ryan, hell, even Jimmy G, because let's just talk about now. The 49ers got beat badly by the Cowboys. Nick Mullins is out with a torn rotator cuff now, so they signed Josh Rosen, is not a bad quarterback. He's just been dealt a bad hand with drafts. He got drafted by Arizona. Then the next year they drafted Murray.
Yeah.
Then he went to Miami. Then they brought in Ryan Fitzpatrick and drafted Tua.
Yeah. Yeah. Josh Rosen has always been the type of person that needs he needs to be coached, right? And he needed a mentor and some guidance. He wasn't going to
handle coaching.
Yeah, he wasn't going to get that in Arizona, the way it was, because he played 3 games and got benched really quick in Arizona.
And then
Miami
Murray came in, and then Murray got drafted, and then Miami, Ryan Fitzpatrick balled out. That's all it was. And then they drafted Tua.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, and that's what you got to think about. Shanahan would put Josh Rosen in a position to win if they keep the running game going. Remember, still at full strength, San Francisco has one of the best running games in the NFL by and large. Okay,
but they haven't been full strength at all this year.
I know, but we've gotten Mostert back, but then we lost what's his name, McKinnon. Mostert
got hurt last week.
Yeah, Mostert got hurt last week, so now we're back to running. What is his name? If John's watching, he can tell me who it is. We're back to is it Harris? Not
Coleman? Ain't it Coleman?
Coleman and Wilson. I think Coleman and Wilson are now going to be playing this week. It's been just as bad as it's been for you in New England. It's about as bad as it's been in San Francisco.
Your guys' issues are this year. It's your fault. We're going to be fine. Then you lose half your defense. We're going to be fine. Then you lose half your offense. We're going to be fine. You lose everything. So it is your fault.
It is not my fault. It's the memes' fault. Okay, all right. Blame the memes. So now we get to the arising situation. Is that Jimmy Garoppolo has played all of what?
4 games this week.
He played 4 games this year. So he's played, we'll say 19 games in the playoffs, then the 4 this year, and then the 5 he played the year before. Well, no, 5, and then no, he played 3 and then the 5. So Jimmy G has a total of less than 30 games under his belt. Okay, he didn't even have 2 whole seasons under his belt, and he's been with San Francisco for 3.5 years. It's coming to the point where they signed this man for Drew Brees money, and they're not getting the performance out of him, even though it's been a bad year. And I get it. It's been a bad year, all right? Injury-wise for everyone. But we're at a point now where the questions are starting to be coming that in the playoffs they didn't need Jimmy Garoppolo, but they actually did. Okay. They did, they were without him the year before. And they didn't perform. They performed as well then as they are now, which is, and then of course he went 5-0 in the year prior when the last 5 games that he started. The question now is, where do we go from here as a San Francisco team? Where do our money is invested, and if we cut Jimmy G, we're only on the hook for like $2.5 million. Which is insane, right? Which is that finagled mathematical money. And then John just confirmed that it was Jeff Wilson. So we're on the hook. We're on the hook for only $2.5 million, as opposed to the 20-some million, 25 million that he'd be making if we keep him on this year. But I think this is all depending on where we land where we land in the draft. Like, do you go trade Jimmy? Is somebody willing to trade for Jimmy G if they can protect him and get the best of Jimmy G? Or do you make a deal with New England and say, let me get you? We gave you a second rounder. We'll take like a third or fourth rounder as long as you're willing to take on the contract. But then New England has to find that cap space and still rebuild the offense of the team. There's a lot going on. I mean, to me, I say run Jimmy G back one more year, and if he doesn't do it, or if he can't stay healthy, then you got to let him go. If he doesn't perform admirably as a quarterback, then you have to let him go. Our issue stems from the fact that we have zero personnel anymore. That's this year. That's literally the issue. Everybody that we have brought in has sucked. It came to the point where we almost brought back Aldon Smith had it not been for the Cowboys really needing Aldon Smith more than we did. Okay, that's how bad shit was. So I'm just trying to figure out, like, as a team, where do we go? I'm still perplexed. Like, I don't know the answer to the Jimmy G question and where does he go. Like, I feel that even if we trade him, we'll be back to square one where we were 4 years ago.
Yeah, because right now, at the end of the season, the only teams that can take that contract on is the Detroit Lions and the Jacksonville Jaguars, and we know the Jaguars are not going to do it.
Yeah.
Detroit might, because Matt Stafford could be gone.
True, but then what do you say? Let's trade Matt Stafford for Jimmy G? Matt
Stafford's a free agent.
Oh, well, that's what I'm saying. Well, do you do a sign and trade?
No. Let Stafford go on his merry way.
John says, never go to Belichick begging. He'll end up giving the Niners a gift card, the Subway, and no draft pick. I got you. Hold on, wait. Right. It's fine. Right. It's fine. Right. It's time to put the hoodie back on again. Hey, Kyle. So we see that you have a conundrum, and I have an amazing deal. Okay, are you ready for this one? We have a 10th round draft pick in the 2028 NFL draft. We have this $100 gift card to Subway. You can feed half the team with it. Okay, $5 footlongs, 20 footlongs. Okay, 20 footlongs, and I don't offer this too many times unless I really want it. You get to drive the boat. That's right. You get to drive the boat, baby. Woo!
The only place he gets to drive it is to the next dock, which is like right next door.
To drive the boat. It's all worth it to drive the boat, okay? Just drive the boat.
Yeah. But I was dancing like Aaliyah. Drive the boat, drive the boat, drive the boat. Oh, wait, I did that wrong. Hold on. Belichick invented mumble coaching.
I know. Exactly. Although he's gotten more cocky on the Pat McAfee show. Well, not McAfee. On the Patriots podcast that they have in Boston. He's got real cocky on that shit.
He has fun with that shit.
Yeah. So
the Cowboys blew out the fucking 49ers. That was not a good look at all. The Cowboys fans are back. Oh yeah, we back, baby. You guys still have 8 losses. Shut the fuck up.
About to be 11 because,
So next up, we have the Atlanta Falcons got out to a big lead against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Then Tom Brady did that Tom Brady thing where he's on the sideline like, last time he did that, it was 28-3 in the Super Bowl, and the same result happened. Tom Brady brought the Buccaneers back and beat the Atlanta Falcons.
And you know what's hilarious is I thought this in my head when I saw this on paper. I said, Atlanta seems like the type of team, they understand Tom Brady, so they kind of know how to play him for the first 2 quarters. And then, oh my God, I swear, if Atlanta has the type of consistency that women want in a relationship, okay? Consistent, yes, but it's consistent. It's consistent. They are consistently blowing leads, okay? That's just, I mean, if I had that kind of consistency, I'd never have a problem in my life, okay? The Atlanta Falcons are a model of consistency and should be praised for it, except the fact that this consistency leads into constant losing, ladies and gentlemen. Constant losing. How? 2 weeks in a row, okay? 2 weeks in a row, and I think the 7th time this season that they've blown a lead.
They only haven't had a lead in one game, and that was the Green Bay game.
They've consistently blown double-digit leads this season. And they fired the coach, so they can't. Who are they going to blame now? Who are they going to blame?
Rooney.
I don't even know, man.
See, Atlanta has never been the same since what's his name? Arthur Rooney? Is that his name? During the Super Bowl.
Blaq. No, Arthur Blaq. Arthur
Blaq. Since the Super Bowl against the Patriots, where he was on the sideline asking people what their ring size were when they were up 28-3 with 3 minutes to go in the third quarter.
Never ever asked.
At that point, the Falcons have not been the same.
Never ever ask. Never ever ask. Because if you have to ask, then you already know it's going to be a. Nope. Can't afford it.
All right. Next up, we have Jalen Hurts had another good game for Philadelphia. They almost beat the Cardinals, but Kyler Murray came back and won the game for Arizona.
And listen, you can't give Kyler Murray that kind of you can't give Kyler Murray those opportunities, especially when the way that he is, the way that running game is. He's gonna find a way. Like I think in the last 2 or 3 years, the last 2 years that he's been in the NFL, he's led the NFL in fourth quarter comebacks. I think, or at least like
he's up there. He's up there.
Yeah, like you can't give Kyler Murray that opportunity to come back and win this game. He's just shifty. And then they got experience. They got Hopkins. They got Fitzgerald. They got Kenyon Drake. You can't. Like, why? Why are you not 60 minutes of football? What is wrong with people not playing 60 minutes of football? The Falcons can't do it. Apparently, Chargers can't do it. Jesus, man. Come on.
All right. So next up, we have what was supposed to be one of the games of the year. It ended up closer because of garbage time. The Chiefs just mollywopped the Saints. It was only close because of, like I said, garbage time.
I mean, did we expect any different outcome? I think we called the Chiefs. I'm like, if either broken Drew Brees or Taysom Hill wasn't going to matter.
Yeah.
So it is what it is.
Kansas City, they are by far looking like the favorite to win everything. So
yeah, just handle the trophy now, damn it! Just handle the fucking trophy now. They are
who we thought they were.
Exactly.
But the Kansas City Chiefs still got to meet the Indianapolis Colts at some point in the playoffs, more than likely. So that's going to be interesting. Next up, we have the Cleveland Football Browns beating the New York Giants. and now they're only one game behind the Pittsburgh Steelers to win the AFC North.
My, how the turntables.
You mean how the money have fallen and how the tables have turned?
No. I'm on my Michael Scott office shit. How the turntables, okay? How the turntables.
So at the beginning of the season, we were like, the Browns are going to be awesome this year. Then they came out the gate slow and flat. Then they turned awesome. We finally are justified in us picking the Browns this year.
We were justified, okay? Now, how it all comes first circle, the last game of the season. Browns.
Got 2 games.
No, but no, I'm saying, but the Browns and the Steelers play the last game of the season, don't they?
Oh, yeah, week 17, yes.
That's what I'm saying. And I think that's what it's going to come down to. Last game of the season. Imagine being 11-0, and now your playoff hopes rest on beating the Cleveland Browns. Woo!
Okay, so Cleveland smoked the Giants. But then, Monday night, Juju Smith-Schuster danced on the Bengals logo after being warned by a specific player on the Bengals, if you do it, I'm going to knock your ass out. Juju Smith-Schuster danced on the logo. This player went and knocked Juju Smith-Schuster's ass out in the fucking game on a legal hit. And the Bengals beat the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Ryan Finley all game had a smile on his face. I didn't even know who Ryan Finley was up until this game.
He was drafted by Arizona after they drafted Josh Rosen.
Yes. But he had a smile on his face the whole entire game. And you got to when you're beating the Pittsburgh Steelers. So are we finally at this point, okay, where we can officially say that Juju Smith is not a number 1 wide receiver?
We are at an official point where Juju Smith said, I'm not dancing on no more logos.
Yay! So I like to mention Juju, if that's his real name, that Juju Smith-Schuster, for all intents and purposes, since Antonio Brown left, has not had a 100-yard game at all. He has not had a multi-touchdown game since.
No, he had a 3-touchdown game earlier this season.
Oh, he did have the 3-touchdown game. So he hasn't had.
That's because people have realized they need to double team Clayton Claypool.
Yes, but he hasn't had a 100-yard game all the last 2 seasons since Antonio Brown left. Last 100-yard game he's had was when Antonio Brown was there. Is coincidence? Yeah, probably. But we got to get off the Juju Smith-Schuster promoting this man hype train. I don't know who's promoting him. I'm not. But
Madden. That's who's promoting him.
He's not a number 1 receiver. He's not. He's just going to.
He was a Madden cover boy last year.
And let me say something real quick.
2 years ago.
And let me say something real quick. He wouldn't even be a number 3 receiver on a team with 2 good receivers. There it is.
So, we were talking about this yesterday, and I'll say it here on the show. Mike Tomlin is a great on-field coach, a great on-field leader.
Yeah.
He is a trash locker room coach.
Yeah.
He got Antonio Brown live stream fucking meetings on Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
He let Le'Veon Bell walk all over his offensive line, his players. He let his players talk shit to an Army vet in Villanueva when he went out the tunnel to stand for the flag because he is a vet.
Yeah.
Mike Tomlin does not have the respect in the locker room. Hell, he's got to keep Ben Roethlisberger out of public bathrooms so he doesn't rape anybody.
The problem, as much as I like Mike Tomlin as a coach, which he was and I had him as the if he would have got the Steelers to the playoffs last year, given how shitty they were, should have been to me would have been a coach of the year candidate. This year, with 3 losses in a row, 3 bad losses in a row too.
And we've called all 3 of them.
Yeah,
except for the Bengals.
Except for the Bengals. Well, I didn't see the Bengals. No. But I said it would be hilarious if it happened. And it was hilarious
because that happening initiated nightmare protocol for the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Yeah. We got a problem. Houston, we have a problem. A big problem, a huge problem, huge problem.
Huge.
But on the Mike Tomlin, it's at the point where Mike Tomlin, it's not that this. I think they just need to gut the whole thing. And the reason why they haven't gutted the whole thing is because Ben Roethlisberger has been so successful, oddly enough, that there's been no need. You can't start over from scratch. You can't get a new quarterback. We've seen what happens when you get 2 or 3 new quarterbacks last year. Mason Rudolph damn near got his head taken off, and we had a guy named Duck Hodges start a game. That's
Myles Garrett was just trying to help him put his helmet back on. That's all it was.
So now the Steelers again being successful this year, they may still end up. They're still going to be a playoff team, but they may not be the win the division.
They might not be a playoff team.
Oh, they might not. Oh yeah, because they
want to know why?
Why?
All right, so I'll just talk about it right now real quick. We're not going to predict it until we talk about the game. Yeah. They got the Colts this week, and they got the Browns in week 17. The Ravens have 2 cake games. The Browns have the fucking Jets this week and then Pittsburgh. If Pittsburgh loses these 2 games, Baltimore and Cleveland make the playoffs, and Pittsburgh does not.
Ooh.
Talk about something that gets you fired, starting 11-0, and then not making the playoffs.
That math would be so vicious. Hold on, let me see. Let me take. I gotta look at this scenario because now it's got me tempted. Hold on.
So the Browns are 1 game behind them, but the Browns hold a tiebreaker because of points, and so do the Ravens.
So it goes like this. Hold on. Well, no. Okay, so the Steelers clinched a wild card. They have a wild card.
Oh, they have a wild card?
They have a wild card.
They won't make the division if they lose in 2 games. That's what
it is. Here, only because if the Dolphins, the Dolphins lost last week.
No, they beat the Patriots last week.
They beat the Patriots. So the week before they lost. It's one. I think it was the week
last
before.
Last game they lost was to Seattle, and that was a couple weeks ago.
Okay, so that's how the Steelers were able to get it because had the Dolphins had still only had 4 losses, that would be like literally the worst case scenario for the Steelers because this is what we have now: Bills at 11-3, Dolphins at 9-5, Chiefs at 13-1, Steelers at 11-3, Browns at 10-4, Ravens at 9-5, Titans at 10-4, Colts at 10-4. So essentially, what happens is, if the Titans and Colts make the playoffs, and then Browns and Ravens make the playoffs, and then Dolphins and Bills make the playoffs. If the Steelers, let's put it this way, if the Browns win the division, Ravens go 11-5. I think the Steelers have beaten the Ravens twice this year.
But remember, division games. The Ravens and the Browns have both swept the Bengals. The Bengals beat the Steelers.
No, that's what I'm saying. So the what would end up happening is that if the Ravens win out, the Browns win out. Titans and Colts. I think Titans and Colts they don't play each other anymore. They've already played twice.
But they've already played their 2 games.
If the Titans and Colts win out, Chiefs win out, or even go 14-2. Dolphins get into the playoffs, and Bills win at least 1 more game. That makes it so the Steelers are the 7th seed. Imagine starting out the season 11-0, and then you can't even you don't even get a home game.
And I think that's going to happen. So let's go ahead and jump into week 16 here. Me and James talked about this game over at Messenger. We both picked the Saints. We did not see Alvin Kamara tying an NFL record, having a chance to break the NFL record, but Sean Payton did not put him on the field. The Saints put up 52 against what was once a vaulted Vikings defense.
Now, can we finally put the Vikings to bed now? Are they dead?
Yes, they're officially eliminated from the playoffs.
Thank God, because Jesus, this is just horrible, man. Like
they've had a breakout wide receiver, a rookie wide receiver this year.
Yeah.
Dalvin Cook did Dalvin Cook things. Kirk Cousins threw a shit ton of interceptions,
which is very uncharacteristic for a New Orleans defense to get that many interceptions, which I think is even worse.
But this game was all about Alvin Kamara.
Yeah. So, Washington. I'm looking at the math here on how this all went. So it's so bad I don't even want to talk about the Vikings. I'm glad somebody put them out of their fucking misery.
Yeah, I think we should talk about the playoff scenarios next week.
Okay, so
we're getting into that then.
It's hilarious to think that the Lions have been at the bottom of the division damn near the whole year, and they can end up on top of the Vikings based off of how embarrassing the Vikings have been these last few weeks. Yeah. And the prospect of Adam Thielen leaving this year or after this year and going to Green Bay.
Yep, they go join Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, he's going to be Jordy Nelson 2.0.
But we all know that knowing the Green Bay Packers, they won't sign him.
No, not at all. Or Aaron Rodgers will just fucking leave and go to that would be hilarious. Aaron Rodgers in Minnesota.
I read a scenario the other day that Aaron Rodgers could end up in San Francisco.
That is true.
Going back home.
That is true.
The end of his career, but we'll see. So, all right. So the Vikings got stomped out yesterday, but let's go ahead and get into the Week 16 games. There's 3 games today. The rest are on Sunday and Monday. Let's go ahead and start with it. First game on the docket, we got Tom Brady and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers looking to secure a playoff spot by beating the Detroit Lions.
Thomas Q. Brady, baby. Thomas Q. Brady. I think he's on a mission now, especially after that comeback victory. He's got that energy. He's feeling himself now.
Like LeBron, playoff Tom's been activated.
Yeah, so I got the Bucs in this game. Sorry. This.
Yeah, I got the Buccaneers. There's no redeeming qualities about the Detroit Lions, except Matt Stafford might actually be one of their best players who actually gets to leave the team.
Yeah. Thank the heavens. Thank God. Jeez.
Poor Barry Sanders. Poor Megatron.
Matt Stafford needs to break the cycle, okay, of players that were ruined by the Detroit Lions.
All right. Next up, we have CJ Beathard. I know his name is Beathard, but we call him Beathard around here, making his 3rd career start at the Arizona Cardinals. And George Kittle is playing. I don't know why, but he's hard-headed, and he told Coach Shanahan, I want to play.
You know why? You want to know why George Kittle's playing? Because he drafted himself in his fantasy league, and these are the finals, okay? That's why. I
honestly think it's a mistake to put Kittle out there right now, coming off that broken foot. Jimmy Garoppolo is healthy, but they're not putting him in.
Are you going to tell George Kittle no? Is that what it is?
Honestly, I would.
What if Kyle Shanahan?
Because George Kittle had a broken foot. You know that does not go away. Even after it's healed, it does not go away.
True. But I'm pretty sure also Kyle Shanahan and half the team also have George Kittle on their fantasy team and they're in each other's respective fantasy league championships, and that's why he's starting this game.
And so the Arizona Cardinals can clinch a playoff spot here, and I'm taking the Cardinals over the 49ers.
Why do I got to cheer against my own team?
It's basically a home and home game since you guys play in Arizona for the rest of the season.
We're the home team. No, we're the home team. Actually,
the most fucked up part about that whole situation is the Arizona Cardinals were like, we're not even going to change our field. So the 49ers were home last week, and they were playing on an Arizona Cardinals logo and field because the ground crew was like, we ain't changing this shit. Fuck y'all.
I really hope next year in Madden they had COVID mode. Okay, I really want a COVID mode in next year's Madden football game where just random shit happens, like a whole section of a state closes themselves off, so you have to play at your competitor's field for like 5 to 6 weeks. You know what I'm saying? No fans in the crowd, so you can hear all the play calls in the audible. I want that kind of realism in the next Madden game. Unfortunately, EA makes Madden and not NFL 2K. So,
well, even if it was NFL 2K, they just put advertisements everywhere and ask you to monetize and try to monetize the whole game anyway. So, oh, you want to run a shotgun? That'd be 99 cents.
Damn. So I'm picking the 49ers because I have to have some kind of hope in this game. Some kind of hope.
James said, I gotta be loyal.
He said, I gotta be hopeful, then we'll make a way. I know it ain't easy, but that's okay. Just be hopeful.
Oh. Anyway, next up we have the Miami Dolphins have a chance to clinch a playoff spot in this game at the falling Las Vegas Raiders.
How the mighty have fallen.
And I think Marcus Mariota is starting because Derek Carr is hurt.
Oh man. Listen, I'm gonna take the Dolphins. I like this Dolphin story. I'm really excited for it.
Like, yeah, Brian Flores, I said it last year, I'll say it this year. There's a certain grit about the man that this team plays for.
Yes. It's all heart. It's kind of like the defense that plays under Bill Belichick. They play under him for a reason. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. When push comes to shove, Brian Flores has been putting people in the right place to win, and I can't knock it. Listen, I'm here for it, actually. Like, I really want to see if I can't have the Patriots in the playoffs to see what happens. I want to really see if I'm going to have somebody new, let it be fucking Miami. Let's see what the fuck happens and run with this shit. You know what I'm saying? Let's cause some fucking chaos. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, we seen Tua strive in a playoff environment in college. So.
Mm-hmm. They gotta do it. That's what I'm here for. Fuck it.
Yeah, I got the Dolphins also. They're, to me, the better team anyway. So
yeah, and we don't know what
the defense is a whole lot better than the fucking Raiders.
Yeah, and the Raiders defense is basically a strainer. And when I say like a strainer, I'm talking about like a dollar store strainer that with too much heat will just melt the plastic. And so that's the Raiders defense.
I'm gonna say the words before we stop talking about this game that John Gruden said last year. We need to find a pass rush. You sent him to Chicago.
Well, here's the messed up part. They found a pass rush, but subsequently they don't have anybody to protect anybody on the back end of things. So there's that.
Because we've drafted 3 quarterbacks and they're all not NFL ready.
How do you draft all trash? It's literally like in playing Mario 2, and you get the things that go side to side to side, right? And like you want star, and you don't even get one piece of star. You just drafted trash after trash.
You get toad, flower, toad. That's what you get.
Exactly. Exactly. That's how bad this shit is. That's how fucking bad this shit is. Oh, my God. Oh.
So the Raiders are going from beating the Kansas City Chiefs early in the season to not making the playoffs. So, all right, next up we have a team fighting for their lives to get in the playoffs. Last year's league MVP, the Giants at Lamar Jackson and the Ravens.
Oh,
I think Daniel Jones is starting, not Colt McCoy. So.
I'm sorry. So that means that the Ravens are going to win by 70. No, but all seriousness, the Ravens
have found their running game again.
Yeah.
John Harbaugh and his offensive coordinator have stopped trying to turn Lamar Jackson into a passing quarterback and just said, go out there and run, okay?
Like we don't need that's the whole thing. Lamar Jackson's passing numbers should be predicated on the running numbers. Like you know what I'm saying? Like that's how. Why are they trying to fix something that's not broken? Like, you know, and then they broke it. That's the even worse part.
Because he's a hardball and that's what they do?
Yeah, we're going to make you pass. No, I don't want to. No, you're going to do it. Okay. We don't want you passing anymore.
Yeah, we've lost 3 straight games and, we suck.
Yeah, so Ravens in this one only because Daniel Jones is playing this game. You would have said Colt McCoy. I would have said they had a chance. But Daniel Jones playing means there is absolutely no chance of them winning.
One of the lone bright spots for the Giants this year is Deion Lewis has found his swagger again.
Yes. And Sterling Shepard knows how to catch a football. That's like it. I mean, I don't know.
We have the team who loves giving up double-digit leads against a team that loves to score 45. The Atlanta Falcons at the Kansas City Chiefs.
I call it right now. Atlanta goes up 20-0, and then the Chiefs beat them 45-20. Calling it right now.
Before the game at the coin toss, you just hear Patrick Mahomes, hey, just go ahead and throw 21 up on the board for him. All right, we got this.
Could you imagine Patrick Mahomes like, what kind of comeback can we do? How big of a comeback can we set a record in? I don't want Tom Brady having that record. I want my own record. I wanted my own. So then, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, have him spot at 35.
Yeah, spot him 35. We got the next 63. Don't even worry about it. It's cool.
Okay, so we're picking the Chiefs, obviously.
Obviously.
My issue here is before Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelce was a wholesome workhorse tight end. Now he's an arrogant piece of shit, and it's annoying.
You know why? You really want to know why? Because people have been saying, and I quote, that George Kittle is a better tight end than Travis Kelce. Now his feelings are hurt.
But I will say this again, Mark Andrews is a better all-around tight end than both of them.
Yeah, that's true. Very true. Very true. But you know.
All right, so we got the Chiefs in that one. Next up, I'm pretty sure we're going to be unanimous on this one. Yes, the Jets beat the Rams last week, but they are not going to beat the Cleveland Browns.
Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no. No, that's exactly what the Jets should be saying. But Browns, I just have one favor to ask, okay, to the city of Cleveland. Just one favor. Can you let Frank Gore get at least 60 yards rushing so he can be the number 2 rusher of all time behind Emmitt Smith? Please and thank you.
It probably won't happen. He might get it next week, but not this week.
You never know. The Browns might go up 45-0, and they say, you know what, Frank?
Then the Jets are going to put in Joe Flacco just to yeet the ball down the field. That's all they're going to do.
Why would they want to come back? Then it's going to be then he's going to make things worse. Okay.
Remember, the Jaguars are going to get fined for publicly making it known that they're tanking, where the Jets are just still trying to act like they're tanking. They're not tanking. So,
listen, do you know what $100,000 to a con is? That's like half a penny to me and you. Okay. Oh, you need you're finding us $100,000? It's cool. There's your $100,000 right here. It just comes out in the water spit, and it's actual cash money. Them goddamn cons. Please, Browns. I just want Frank Gore to get it. I'm a Frank Gore fan.
There's still 2 weeks in the season. He can get it next week. Or what I want to see happen, him get held to 30 yards, join New England next year, and break the record in New England.
Oh, geez. Of course you would.
I told you, I want him and Fitzpatrick to play New England just so they can say we played for every single team in the AFC East. That's all I want.
Could you imagine Ryan Fitzpatrick in New England?
Oh, Josh McDaniels would have fun with him. Because he doesn't give a shit. Ryan Fitzpatrick is the epitome of I don't give a shit about my stats. So, fuck this. I'm throwing it anywhere the fuck I want to. That's what the fuck Ryan Fitzpatrick is.
Oh, jeez. Oh, man.
He's Family Dollar Phillip Rivers. That's what Ryan Fitzpatrick is. He's Family Dollar Phillip Rivers.
And a lot smarter because he went to Harvard. Anyways.
Okay, next up we have an interesting matchup, but the Jaguars are continuing to tank. Mitchell Trubisky is going to go for 500 yards this week against the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Start Mitchell Trubisky in your fantasy league. Start.
If Matt Nagy wants to be an asshole, he can put in Nick Foles and just let him prove why Jacksonville shouldn't have cut him after this.
Oddly enough, the Bears still have an opportunity to make the playoffs. That's the crazy part about this whole fucked up ass scenario. And this scenario has been brought to you by the NFC East because of their failures.
It's fucked. All right.
because of their overt failures and the fact that probably Washington is the only team that's going to make the playoffs out of that whole division.
There's no probably about it. But watch, the Cowboys are going to fuck around and win a couple games, and the football team's going to lose, and the Cowboys are going to make the playoffs. That's how this shit is probably going to work out.
Because see, since Doug Peterson tied the Cincinnati Bengals, okay, since he did not lose,
you can't even make that joke anymore because the Bengals beat the Steelers. So it's like, look at the Bengals wins this year. They beat the Titans and they beat the Steelers.
Here's the thing, because they did not lose to the Cincinnati Bengals, they are no longer in playoff contention. Okay, their ceiling is 6-9-1. Okay, that's it. That's their ceiling. If the Giants lose today, they're out of the playoff hunt. The Cowboys lose today, thank God they're out of the playoff hunt. And I think
Washington's division to fucking walk into the playoff.
Yeah. Thank the lucky stars. So anyway, so because of that, the Bears, if they win 2 games, because of how this shit's designed, if depending on how the Rams and Cardinals scenarios go, and the Falcons, well, no, the Falcons are already out, but depending on how that scenario, you might see the Bears sneak right into the playoffs,
which would be hilarious. But we're taking the Bears in this game. Next up, we have a game of 2 teams that are bad. We got the Bengals at the Texans.
Yes. Damn.
I still feel bad for Deshaun Watson.
I do too.
I'm taking the Texans here. They have the better quarterback, so I'm just going there.
Well, of course. I'm going to take the Texans, but again, Ryan Finley might be on that high this week. It might just bring in that Ryan Finley swagger into Houston. He just might do it. Don't count him out. But see, my problem is, though, it's like that. It's like that's how you feel?
When you said Ryan Finley swagger, yes.
So the Texans' biggest issue is that there's no Will Fuller in their life, and that's why they've been sucking so bad. So what was a hopeful season that they could have scrapped together is now no longer. But there shouldn't be no reason why they can't be the Bengals. There literally is not a reason except probably that. So I'm picking Houston.
This could be one of J.J. Watt's last 2 games in Houston, so I'm pretty sure he wants to leave on a high note.
Yes, please.
So he's going to be all over Ryan Finley's swagger.
He's going to break the Ryan Finley swagger this week? Oh, man.
All right, next up we have the continuation of the downfall of the Pittsburgh Steelers as they got to take on the Indianapolis Colts.
Oh, man. This is literally the position that the Pittsburgh Steelers did not want to be in. At
11-0, they thought they had the fucking division locked up. They thought they had a playoff spot locked up.
Because I said that they would probably end up 14-2 because the Colts and the Browns, the Colts are the Colts. Remember when we did the midseason shit, yep. I said the Colts are going to be a problem, and come the end of the season, the Browns might end up being a problem. And that is coming. And I didn't think it was because the last 3 games are going to be a problem, though.
No, it's a nightmare. Like I said, protocol nightmare has been initiated in Pittsburgh.
Yeah, and it is not looking good. Whoo! I'm taking the Colts in this one.
Yeah, I got the Colts. The only reason the Steelers are going to make the playoffs is because the Raiders are losing out.
Yeah, and the Colts got to keep up with Tennessee because they are tied, but now it's division record that dictates the tiebreaker now. Yep. And let me take a look. I got to take it to AFC. Hold on. Right now, their division record I think they're equal.
So then it goes points.
Yeah, and so the Colts need. So right now the Titans have scored more points. Have scored 37 more points than the Colts.
Yep.
So
that division is nasty. The Colts are going to win this game probably by a lot.
Yeah, by very much a lot. And which ends up being the real nightmare scenario that no Pittsburgh Steelers fan wanted to deal with, and that is your playoff hopes of having home field, having a home game goes through Cleveland.
So, and the funniest part about this is the Steelers have lost every game since Juju Smith-Schuster said, "We're 11-0, baby."
Oh, and Chris Claypool said losing. I don't know what that's like.
Yeah, now you do, sir.
I saw the meme where they had when they had was it Josh Allen, Alex Smith, and Ryan Finley. He's like, "Hey, we just want to make sure you wanted to see if you really know what losing's like yet."
Yeah, it's not good for Pittsburgh. So next up we have the Carolina Panthers taking on the Washington Defaults. Let me see if Alex Smith is starting this game. I believe he is, due to the fact that Dwayne Haskins decided to go to a strip club.
Yeah. Dwayne Haskins, Dwayne Haskins is fucked up when Ryan Leaf says, "Don't follow my path." Oh. Like literally, Ryan Leaf has said, he came out, he was on ESPN, he said he's following the exact same blueprint that felt that led me down my spiral. I'm like, Dwayne, come on, man, really?
All right, so if Alex Smith is good to go, he will be starting, but if not, Dwayne Haskins will be playing.
Everybody needs to stay. Well, hell, it might be better because Dwayne Haskins been around all the strippers, all that COVID. Maybe nobody might want to talk with Dwayne Haskins. Never know how that's going to go.
I think Ron Rivera, he knows how to get to the playoffs and be successful. I think he's got this football team in that mindset now, and he's probably telling Chase Young, that guy Teddy Bridgewater over there has a very bad leg. Destroy.
He told Chase Young, he said, every time you sack a quarterback or hit a quarterback, my cancer goes a little bit away every day.
Even though he's cancer-free.
Because of Chase Young. That's right. Ever since Chase Young started hurting people, okay?
Are you saying Ron Rivera is harvesting the souls of Chase Young's destruction? Is that what you're saying?
Yes. Chase Young is a conduit to the health of Ron Rivera, okay?
All right, so I'm taking the Washington football team. I believe you are too.
Yes, very much so. Very much so.
Next up, we have the AFC West mediocrity, the Denver Broncos at the Los Angeles Chargers.
Now, here's my problem with this game, okay? So we like to say that Los Angeles plays down to their competition, right? But we don't know.
That's the Rams, not the Chargers.
Oh, the Chargers. Never mind. Oh, it's the Chargers playing the Broncos. Okay, never mind. Then the Chargers are going to win this game.
Justin Herbert is trying to solidify an offensive rookie of the year. Even though Claypool is going to win the award. But
not the Steelers end up with the wild card team.
The reason is because Justin Herbert is on a 4-win team.
Listen. Could you imagine everybody's talking about Ben Roethlisberger MVP, Chris Claypool Rookie of the Year? Oh, the Steelers are.
I have not heard anybody say Ben Roethlisberger is the MVP.
I mean, Ben Roethlisberger's probably said it once or twice.
Yeah, but he's also in a woman's bathroom trying to rape somebody, so it don't matter.
Well, that's how we found out. It was a woman that told me when Ben Roethlisberger was in the bathroom, he was just washing his face. He looked in the mirror and said, "I'm going to be an MVP this year. I'm going to do it." Okay.
Man, you're not Tom McDonald. You should not have that much confidence. Anyway.
So
I'm going with the Chargers also.
Yeah, Chargers look like they're gonna at least end the season on a high note. I hope so, because Anthony Lynn has been mostly coaching his ass off. All they need is a few pieces, and the Chargers are a huge threat to the AFC West.
And they need Keenan Allen to stop being a diva.
Yes. Also a second wide receiver who's not named Keenan Allen to keep him in check. And
they got Mike Williams, but he's always hurt. So.
Yes. I mean, because they need a second receiver because Hunter Henry can only do so much.
Yep.
They need a second receiver. They draft second receiver.
Might not be there after the season either.
Yeah. Well, pay the
he's a free agent.
Pay the man, okay? Pay the man.
All right, next up we have Jalen Hurts continuing to try and get Carson Wentz out of Philadelphia at the Dallas Cowboys.
So let's see. So I take it that means the Philadelphia Eagles follow through on the threat, which we saw in Madden 21. You played Madden 21?
Yeah, I play Madden 21 all the time.
You played the franchise mode, facing the franchise? Remember when the quarterback stormed off? Well, if you're not going to play me, I quit. How does art imitate life? That's the position that Carson Wentz is in. As he stated that if I'm not the starter, then I want to be traded. First off, Carson, fuck you. Second off, Carson, fuck you. Third off, Carson, and I think which is probably the most important thing, fuck you.
Fourth off, Carson, you're probably going to either be in New England or San Francisco next year.
Listen, I know that Doug Peterson fucked you over, okay? That's fine. I get that. We're on board with that. Doug Peterson fucked you in ways that we can not even imagine. And for that, I apologize. But this don't go sitting here and talk about if you're not going to start me, then I quit. Who fucking wants to start for that fucking Swiss cheese O-line? You see, Jalen Hurts is running for his fucking life out there, okay? And then you're sitting there like, oh, I want to start. Why? So you can die and collect the injury waiver? You're going to try to get your injury clause? Is that what this is all about, Carson? Really? Is that what this is all about? You have a Sotheby's or whatever the fuck whatever the fuck company does those weird ass fucking insurance policies that Rick Rude had where he got hurt, catastrophic injury, and he was able to collect $100 million. Okay, you must have one of those contracts. Because I would not want to be begging to go back out there and start for that fucked up ass O-line, which cost the Eagles the game last week, by the way. Okay, let's call a spade a fucking spade. And if you're not going to start me, I'm not going to play. I just trade me to who? Okay, I'll tell you who we're going to trade you to. So at this point, the Eagles are going to get desperate, and you know what that means.
No, the Ginger will not be in New England. Fuck you. Don't you dare do it. I will leave. I will leave right now.
So we hear that you're desperate. And so, hold on. Hear me out, Sid. Hear me out. This might end up, this is going to work out. I promise. Just give me a minute. Okay. Give me a minute. We understand that you're having some troubles offloading the contract of Carson Wentz. Well, we have some space, and but you're going to have to give us Carson Wentz and your first round draft pick for the next 3 years, and we're going to give you a $200 Subway gift card and a 10th round draft pick. Okay, deal? I knew it. And then, but I'm not done yet. And then he's going to turn around and sell that contract to a quarterback needy team. Okay, he's going to be. So let me find. So John Gruden. We know that you're looking for a quarterback, and we just happen to have this NCAA FBS championship winning Super Bowl champion quarterback by the name of Carson Wentz. And we'd be willing to give him to you for those 2 draft picks that are left from the Khalil Mack trade. What do you say? Oh, and give us Josh Jacobs too. Deal? Okay, deal. See? Now you have 5 first-round draft picks and Josh Jacobs. And you only had to spend $200 on a Subway gift card. See how that worked out?
So I'm taking the Eagles in this game. Jalen Hurts should have a decent game against that Cowboys defense.
Well, yeah, because what Cowboys defense?
Exactly. Speaking of what defenses, The Rams are actually playing a winning team, so they'll probably win. The Rams are at the Seattle Seahawks.
Oh yeah, this is gonna be a shootout. I honestly think though the Seahawks are more desperate for this win than the Rams. I think the Seahawks are going to win. I think this is going to be the only one that we kind of deviate from.
But the Seahawks clinched the playoff spot. They're fighting for the division now.
Yeah.
But the Rams are right there also. But I'm taking the Rams in this one due to the fact that the Rams seem to beat the teams that they shouldn't beat.
Yes, very much so. I agree with that. I just think that Seahawks are a little bit more desperate than the Rams are right now, given the way that the standings are. Just real quick. So the Seahawks do have a wild card spot. They're trying to win the division. Because if they don't beat the Rams, then that puts in a problem where if they're either with the Rams lose, the Rams would still win the division.
Yeah. Because the Cardinals choked away a couple games this year.
Yeah, which it's bad. So keep the Rams out of the playoffs, please, and fucking thank you, Jesus Christ.
All right. Next up, we have. This is going to be an interesting game because one team can't stop the run. One team's fighting for their division and has a running back who eats people. The Tennessee Titans at the Green Bay Packers.
Ooh, yeet. Okay, so
on Sunday Night Football.
So the Packers have clinched their division. Okay. They're only fighting for home field at this point because nobody has home field.
Yeah, because the Saints are the closest to it, 5 losses?
Well, the Saints are 11-4, Packers are 11-3. So if the Packers lose, it would come down to next week on who would get home field advantage.
No, the Saints are 12-4, aren't they?
No, they're 11-4. Remember,
the math don't add up. It's week 16.
Yeah, remember they played yesterday.
The Saints already played, so they should have. Oh yeah, the bye week though.
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. So now it's going to come down to next week on how the Packers and the Saints go. But the funny part about this is that the Seahawks are also looking for home field too. That's kind of how. So everything's about the Seahawks, Rams, Packers, and Saints are all fighting for home field advantage now. That's kind of.
So the other thing about this game is the Tennessee Titans are going to know if the Colts beat the Steelers by the time they play.
Yes, very much so. I think that Tennessee, either way, Tennessee is in a position to have home field in places that aren't Kansas City. So I mean. They're trying to win this one. It's going to come down to the last game of the season. So let's see.
I got the Titans. You got the Titans?
Yeah, I got the Titans.
All right. And to finish off our Week 16 slate of games, we have the AFC East champion Buffalo Bills taking on their former predicators, the team that held them down for 20 years at the New England Patriots.
The
first game was a classic, which ended in a Cam Newton fumble.
Yep. It's a division game. So you got to throw the records out and see how hard they play each other. Mm-hmm. I think I would go, I'm going to go New England. I know I've been a New England homer these last few weeks. I know, I'm sorry, but I'm going New England. And the reason why is that I don't want to I don't want this to be the end of an era as much as everybody's claiming it to be. Hell, if New England can go 8-8, I'm cool with that. I don't want this to end on a bad note. I want New England to win their last 2, break even, not end on a piss poor note. I think they're motivated to do it. I think Cam Newton, after that Instagram post that we just discussed, is motivated to do it. He knows he has been at his best, but we also know that the talent level has not been there. It's been up and down all year. We kind of know who New England is at this point and what their ceiling is. I think they can come out and steal in the last 2 games.
Yeah, I'm taking New England because they play Buffalo really. They match up really well with Buffalo.
Yeah.
Because Buffalo's receivers are not faster than New England's corners.
Yeah.
Which where Buffalo exceeds is speed. New England can match that on defense.
Yeah. They just got to find a way to stop Beasley. Because I think your J.C. Jackson can get on Diggs and frustrate the fuck out of Diggs and maybe make him take him out of the game, like make him quit.
I think we're gonna have either Phillips or Jason McCourty on Beasley. So
yeah,
it's gonna be a good matchup.
Yeah, but I'm taking New England because, like I said, I want to end it on a high note. These last two games, especially since the Jets is the last game of the season, it's got to end on a high note. So
yeah, I'm taking New England because I am a homer. I'm going to support my boys the rest of the season. I did pick against them a couple times, and they won both those games. I did pick against them.
There it is. So, Larry, what's good, Larry? How you doing, sir? My microphone was blocking the chat. What's good, bros? He took the Cowboys in that game. I'm sorry.
But anyway, this has been week 15 of that damn NFL show. Yes. Hopefully Hollywood can get some highlights up this weekend.
We're not gonna have. Listen. I've been having some issues. About those have been now rectified, but I'm also gonna bring back NBA highlights on a daily. This is gonna be a thing now. So we're gonna. That's
of course because Brooklyn is the most dominant team in the NBA.
Of course, and you want to see more of them. Anyways, with that said, I can't steal the line. That's your line, sir. You get it.
If you're over on YouTube, please like, comment, and subscribe. Ring that bell so you know when we live and we drop videos. If you're over on Facebook, like, follow, and subscribe. Sinful Black Sports. We love you guys. You guys have been awesome, rocking with us all these years now. I hope you all had a very Merry Christmas and you have a wonderful New Year because we probably won't. You'll see us on Reacts this week. And we'll talk about the NFL show. Maybe probably Thursday we'll do the NFL show. So
yeah,
you'll see us one more time before the end of the year live here on the Overtime Sports Show.
Yeah, 2 more podcasts. This podcast is going on Anchor, Spotify, everywhere podcast is. And then the NBA show that I promised you, the All the Way NBA show. Merry Christmas, Mr. Lawrence. Appreciate you, bros. The NBA show is where we get things cracking. I haven't done my preview yet, and it's not too late for a preview, especially now that we kind of know who Brooklyn is, and now we know where Golden State's at. And yes, it's going to be a nice little fun preview show. That's going to drop Wednesday morning, but you'll see us Thursday, and then we'll drop that in the podcast. It's the Happy New Year podcast. But
I will join James every once in a while for the NBA shows, so I'll be around.
Yes, I just want to talk stories. If you could join for the stories talking shit, which is going to be a lot of Brooklyn shit, a lot of, you know what I'm saying, a lot of how that's developing over time, just come by, stop by, say hi. You know you love us. Anyways, with that said, sir, thank you for watching that damn NFL show. That's my man Big Sin over there. Yeah, that's him. That's him. I'm your boy Hollywood J. Blaq, and we out this thing. Deuces.